Part 1. The Budget Illusions. You've done this before. You open your banking app, you scroll, you pause, and something feels... You didn't buy anything big this month. No new phone, no vacations, no crazy shopping spree. And yet, your balance is lower than you expected. So you tell yourself, I need to budget better. You download an app, you make categories: rent, food, transport, entertainment. You feel responsible, in control, for about 3 days. Then life happens. A friend invites you out. You grab a quick coffee. You order food because you're tired. And suddenly the budget is broken. And here's the part no one says out loud. Budgeting feels like discipline, but most people quietly fail at it. Not because they're lazy, not because they're bad with money, but because budgeting tries to control the future, while your real problem lives in the present. Take Jason, 28 years old, marketing executive, makes $200 a month after tax, no debt, no kids, pretty normal financial life. Jason did everything right. He created a detailed budget: $200 for rent, $400 for food, $200 for transport, $300 for fun, $300 for savings, the rest for everything else. On paper, it was perfect, balanced, logical, clean. He felt in control. He felt like an adult. He thought, this is it. This is how people get ahead. But by the end of the month, something strange happened. His savings account had $120, not $300. Not even close. Nothing dramatic caused it. No big mistake. Just small leaks. Coffee here, food delivery there, a random online purchase at midnight, $8, $15, $23. Individually, they felt harmless. Together, they quietly destroyed his plan. So Jason did what most people do. He blamed himself. I need more discipline. I just need to stick to the budget. So the next month he tried harder. More strict, more rules, less fun money. And guess what? Same result. Because the problem wasn't his discipline. The problem was the system. Here's what most people don't realize. Budgeting assumes you can predict your behavior, but humans are terrible at that. You don't wake up planning to overspend. You overspend in the moment, when you're tired, hungry, stressed, or just bored. And in that moment, your carefully planned budget doesn't exist. It's just numbers on a screen you made weeks ago. That's the gap. The gap between intention and action. Part 2, awareness changes everything. Now meet Sarah, 31 years old, freelance designer. Income varies between $2,500 and $4,000 a month. Unpredictable, messy, no stable paycheck. Sarah tried budgeting too. It was a disaster. Some months she earned more, some months less. Her plan was constantly wrong, so she gave up on budgeting completely. Instead, she did something that sounded almost too simple. She just started tracking every dollar she spent. Not planning, not restricting, just observing. Every coffee, every Uber, every random purchase. At first, it felt pointless, like writing down what she already knew. But after 1 week, something shifted. She noticed patterns, real patterns, not guesses. She thought she spent about $150 on food delivery. The real number? $280. Almost double. She had no idea. 3 streaming services. 2 apps she forgot about. 1 gym membership she barely used. $96 a month. Gone quietly. And here's the interesting part. No one told her to stop. No rules, no limits. But the next time she thought about ordering food, she hesitated. Not because she had a budget, but because she had awareness. She still ordered sometimes, but less. More intentional. Over the next month, her food delivery spending dropped from $280 to $90. Not zero, not extreme, just better. And her savings, they quietly increased, without a strict plan. Same income level, same everyday temptations. Completely different outcome. Jason tried to control his future. Sarah paid attention to her present. That difference seems small, but it changes everything. Because when you track your spending, you're not forcing yourself to change. You're seeing yourself clearly, and that's uncomfortable, but powerful. You see the $5 coffee, the $18 taxi, the $12 impulse buy, not as random moments, but as a pattern. And once you see the pattern, you can't unsee it. That's the beginning, not the end. Because most people think the solution to money problems is control. More rules, more discipline, more restriction. But control creates resistance, and resistance creates failure. You push back, you rebel, you quit. Awareness is different. It doesn't fight you, it shows you. And when you truly see how you spend, you start making different choices. Not because you have to, but because you want to. That's where real change begins. Quietly, subtly. Jason never saw that. He only saw failure, numbers he couldn't hit. Sarah saw reality, and reality gave her power. But here's where it gets even more interesting, because tracking your spending doesn't just help you see your money. It actually changes how your brain makes decisions, in ways most people never realize. And once you understand that, you'll never look at budgeting the same way again. Part 1. Awareness changes behavior. Something subtle happens the moment you start tracking your spending. You don't feel it right away, but your brain does. That tiny pause before you buy something, that wasn't there before, now it is. After tracking, there's a split second of awareness, a quiet voice. Do I really want this? That pause is everything. It's where behavior changes. Let's go back to Jason. Same guy, same income, same habits. It's 10:47 p.m. He's tired, hungry, doesn't feel like cooking. $214 already spent this month on delivery. Not because someone told him to stop, not because of a budget limit, but because he knows, and knowing changes everything. He still orders sometimes. He's not perfect, but now it's a choice, not a reflex. That's the shift. Small, quiet, powerful. Here's what's really happening underneath. Your brain has two systems when it comes to money. The fast brain reacts. It wants pleasure now. Food, convenience, comfort. It doesn't care about your savings goal. It doesn't care about next month. It cares about this moment. The slow brain reflects. It thinks long term. It asks, is this worth it? Most of your spending comes from the fast brain. That's why budgeting often fails. Because budgeting talks to your slow brain, but spending happens in your fast brain. Tracking does something different. It brings the slow brain into the moment, not after, not at the end of the month, right there, at the point of decision. Every time you log an expense, you reinforce awareness. Part 2, awareness creates results. Let's look at real numbers again. Because this isn't just psychology, it's math. People who start tracking their spending typically reduce discretionary expenses by 10 to 20% within 60 days. If you spend $3,000 a month, that's $300 to $600 saved every month, without a strict budget. That's $3,600 to $7,200 a year from awareness alone. No extreme lifestyle change, no deprivation, just clarity. Now imagine you invest that $500 a month at a modest 6% annual return for 10 years. You put in $60,000, but it grows to about $81,000. That extra $21,000, that's your money making money. And it all started with. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Tracking doesn't just reduce spending. It reveals something deeper. It shows you what you actually value, not what you say you value. Because your money tells the truth, even when you don't. You might say you care about health, but your spending shows $300 on food delivery and $0 on fitness. You might say you want financial freedom, but $200 a month goes to things you don't remember buying. Tracking doesn't work because it controls your money. It works because it tells you the truth about yourself. That's aha moment number 1. Money problems are rarely math problems. They're behavior problems. Jason finally understood this. After 2 months of tracking, he saw that his problem wasn't income. It wasn't discipline. It was patterns, habits he never noticed. And once he saw them, he didn't need a strict budget anymore. Not because she had rules, but because she had clarity. Most people think financial control comes from restriction, cutting, limiting, and saying no. But real control feels different. It feels calm. You know where your money goes. You understand your habits. You trust your decisions. That's control. And you didn't get it from a budget. You got it from paying attention, but there's still a problem. Because tracking alone can become overwhelming. Too many numbers, too much detail, no clear direction. You see everything, but don't know what to do with it. And that's where most people get stuck. They track. So the question becomes, how do you turn awareness? Because in the next step, you're going to see exactly how to use tracking, not just to understand your money, but to completely change your financial life. Part 1. Track smarter, not more. Awareness is powerful, but on its own, it's incomplete. Because seeing everything doesn't automatically tell you what matters. It just shows you, and when everything feels important, nothing is clear. Let me show you how this actually works in real life. Meet Daniel, 35 years old. Software engineer. Makes $5,500 a month after tax. Good income. Stable job. But somehow, always feels like he's not getting ahead. So he started tracking his spending, just like Sarah. Every expense, every day, no exceptions. After 2 weeks, he saw the problem. Not one big mistake, just three patterns. Eating out 640 a month, convenience spending 310 slot, subscriptions and random 180 slots month. That's $13 a month on things he barely thought about. Here's where most people go wrong. They try to fix everything at once. No eating out. Cancel everything. Extreme discipline. It works for about 10 days. Then it collapses. He walked more instead of short Uber rides. He brought snacks from home. He paused before small purchases. No extreme rules. No pressure. After 3 months, his total spending dropped by about $420 per month. That's over $5,000 a year, without feeling restricted. So how do you apply this? You don't need anything complicated. Just 3 steps. Step 1. Track everything. For just 2 weeks. Don't judge it. Don't fix it. Just observe. Be honest. You only fix one category at a time. Not 5. Not 10. 1. Because your brain can handle small change. It resists big change. Small wins build confidence. Confidence builds consistency. Sarah still tracks, but it's easy now. It's part of her life, like checking messages. Jason does it too. And he finally feels not rich, not perfect, but stable. But there's one more layer to this. Even if you track, even if you reduce your leaks, you can still feel like you're not moving forward because you might be solving the wrong problem. You're spending less, you're saving more, but it doesn't feel different. Why? Because the real goal was never just to spend less. It was something deeper. And once you understand that, you stop thinking about money as something to control and start using it as something to design your life. Part 1. The missing feeling. There's a moment that catches people off guard. It doesn't happen when they start tracking. It doesn't happen when they cut expenses. It happens later, when the numbers improve, but something still feels missing. She did everything right. Tracked her spending for 3 months. Cut her unnecessary costs. She reduced her monthly expenses by $700. That's $8,400 a year. That's not small. Her savings grew faster than ever, from $5,000 to $12,000 less than a year. And still, something felt off. She didn't feel ahead. She didn't feel free. Just... This is where the second breakthrough happens. The one that changes everything. Aha moment number 2. Money isn't something you manage. It's something you use to design your life. And if you don't decide what that life looks like, you'll just keep optimizing numbers. Part 2. Designing your life. Emily realized this slowly, one quiet Sunday morning. Not how much should I save, not what's my budget. A different question. What kind of life am I trying to build? Because without that, more money doesn't mean more meaning. You can spend less, save more, invest wisely, and still feel stuck. Because you're optimizing without direction. Jason realized he didn't want to chase promotions endlessly. He wanted time, so he chose flexibility over income. And he could afford to. That's power. Daniel realized he didn't need luxury. He needed security. So he built a system, $1,000 invested every month. Over 10 years, that grows to around $63,000. Not flashy, but solid. That's peace of mind. Part 3. Meaning over money. Because comparison is one of the most expensive habits you can have. It makes you spend on things you don't actually value, just to keep up. That's a trap. So she didn't just save more. She redirected $400 into investments, $300 into a travel fund. Now every dollar had a purpose, not just a destination. That feels different. Because money finally connected to her life. And that's the final shift. Tracking gives you awareness. Awareness gives you control. Control gives you choice. Choice gives you freedom. Don't start with control. Start with awareness. Watch your money. Understand it. Let it show you who you are. And from there, build a life that actually fits you.